Good morning. My name is Michael, and welcome to another episode of Code with Michael. And today I want to talk about a developer roadmap, for just kind of starting out as a new developer. Now, keep in mind, this is just one. So the point of this video is if you're a new developer and you're not sure where to get started, this will give you a decent reference point of where to get started. And many of these topics, which we talk about, I will cover on this channel. So if you like this channel, if you like this video, please like and subscribe so I can bring you more content in the future. So let's get started. So about this channel, my name is Michael. I'm a senior developer with 4 years in the field. This channel will be personalized. So like things like live projects, lessons, we'll do that in the future. And also I'm going to launch a Discord in the near future. And lastly, definitely coming out with a course in the near future, which will be, very efficient in cost. So it won't be like thousands of dollars like some of these courses. So that is also coming down the line. So the first thing, which you'll want to think about is, do you want to be front end or back end? But you don't really have to answer the question now. You'll kind of get an idea for it once you get coding in the front end, and then you'll learn a little bit the back end, and you'll be like, I like front end a little bit more. If you're a bit more of like a creative person, or you like seeing immediate results, front end is kind of where you want to be. But if you like math and you like maybe not math, but you like, I don't know, just more logic stuff, usually back end is the way to go with that. But you'll find out. So first off, though, you'll want to learn some sort of front end language first. Even if you are going to be a back end developer, it's always useful to have a little bit of knowledge of the front end, just so you have an idea of how the web works. It's kind of like your foundation, your fundamentals. So I like to think of the first three languages you're going to learn are kind of like building a house. So the first one is HTML, which is like the foundation and the frame of the house. The CSS is like the paints, the trim, the selections, the carpet, everything that gives a house like some eye appeal. That's like the CSS. And you'll learn that as well, which if you don't already know. And then JavaScript, that is kind of like the language of the front end. So that's, the doors, the plumbing, the HVAC, everything that, gives the house functionality. That is kind of what JavaScript is. That's how, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, that's kind of how they fit together to make up, web applications. All right. So, what at some point you might think, do I want to be web? Do I want to be mobile? Some popular web frameworks right now are React.js, Vue.js, and Angular, and those all use JavaScript. And there's many others. So we'll have a video in the future at some point once we get down to learning about JavaScript frameworks and libraries. But then there's also some mobile frameworks as well. Like there's cross-platform for like iOS and Android. So there's React Native, and there's also Flutter. There's also a couple other ones, but those are the big ones. And then you also have native Android and native iOS as well. So this is just one practical route. Obviously there's many, but this is just an idea. If you want to get job ready, this is one route you might take to, having that foundation and those fundamentals. I think obviously HTML, CSS, it's a good thing to have, some knowledge of. Even if you're going to be a backend developer, it's good to know. Also, you want to learn how to do some layouts, CSS, especially if you're going to be a front end developer, because you don't have to be such a great designer, but you will not need to know how to lay out a page as well. Maybe because you'll get design specs from your design team, and you need to code it on the front end. So CSS, SCSS, less. There's some other frameworks as well, but sometimes you will have to write straight CSS. And then I think JavaScript is a good next language to learn, just because it is kind of like the front end language of the web. So, but we'll have plenty of videos and plenty of courses on that in the future as well. Also, we want to learn React.js, Vue.js, or Angular if you're going to be front end. So kind of specialize in one of these three. I like React.js or Vue the most, but some people love Angular. And we'll talk about all three of those in a future lesson as well. But I think it's better to learn one than learn all three, because job postings is typically there for like React.js, they're for Vue.js, or they're for Angular. And if you are kind of like more expert in one of them, you'll have an advantage over someone who just knows a little bit about this Vue or Angular. So also, one thing no one really talks about is testing, and you'll want to get really good at testing. Just because once you get job ready and you start job, all your code is going to be tested for the most part. And if you're unprepared, it's going to make your job a little bit harder. So on this channel, we're really going to focus on when we create something, we're going to write tests for it. And I think that's an important thing to do. Also, get really good at debugging your code. A lot of these tutorials and things that you'll see on the web, they are coded in advance. So all the debugging has already been done. So when they kind of reproducing it, it's kind of like going through a slide deck. There's not going to be any errors in the slide deck because it's already there. So if you constantly see that, you're going to get I guess a wrong idea of what coding is like, because coding is a lot of debugging. So on this channel, I will code a lot of things without having it in advance. That way we can actually do some debugging. That way when I come across something, I'm like, oh, what's this error? I can figure out what I did wrong and we can correct it. I can show you all the tools, all the strategies, and things like that. Then also, I think even if you're going to be a front-end developer, you do want to learn at least some knowledge of a backend language. And there's many options: Node, Go, Java, Python, C++, C Sharp. So there's a ton. We'll probably learn Node.js or Golang first. I think they're good first backend languages, but yeah, you'll definitely want to specialize in at least one language. And then also you'll want to build some awesome portfolio projects and keep practicing, because the more you code, the better you will get. It's just one of those things that, it just takes a lot of practice. And there are some things to remember along your journey. It's okay not to know everything. There's certain things that are kind of like, it's okay to not know it, because there's lots of things in the web, but you only need to know a particular portion of it for now. You can understand it all in time, and there's a lot of things I don't even know. But because it's not important, and you'll see more what I mean once we get going. But you don't need to know everything, and you are good enough. I think this job is. I think it's practice. I think it's determination. I think anyone can do it as long as you have, you want to do it and you find it interesting. If you don't like it, you're not going to do well, just because I think if you enjoy something and you're going to, you're going to study more, you're going to practice more. So even though it is a decent paying profession, don't go into it just for the money, because I don't think that's a good reason to. And I think in the long run, you're not going to be happy, because it is tough if you're not dedicated. So like I said, practice does make perfect. And I really shouldn't say perfect, because you're still going to make mistakes. You're still going to mess up lines of code. But you're gonna write test form. You're gonna go back and debug your code, and you're gonna make sure you get all those bugs fixed. But practice does make you a better developer. So, and then also you are able to reach out to me anytime with questions. I want to be your mentor. So if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments section. And also we're gonna have a Discord in the near future, so that'll be another way you can reach out to me as well. Also subscribe and like this video so I can reach more people. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will say, kind of wrap it up with this. Developing is not easy. Anyone who says it's easy is, I don't know, just not telling you the truth, because it's not real easy to get, job ready, but I think anyone can do it. And it's gonna take time. I mean, there's a lot of boot camps say you can do in 12 weeks and we get job ready. I don't believe it, because I think it takes much longer than 12 weeks. I'm not saying it can't be done. Not saying no one's ever got a job, just in 12 weeks, but I think realistically, be realistic with your time frames. Um, I'd say 6 to 18 to 24 months is realistic. Obviously, that depends on you and how much you put into it. I think the more you put into it, the more you will get out of it, like anything else. But you're not going to watch 2 videos today and you're going to be like, I'm job ready. Just not the way it works. And that's okay, because it is it's a good skill to have, and good things take time. So thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.